Hey you guys, it's Shell Bella coming at you again. This is going to be another tubal reversal journey video, or more or less a tubal reversal update video. Nothing much has really changed since the 2 or 3 weeks I've spoken to you before. Just my date. I don't know if I told you guys that I changed my date. My date went from January 5th to December 29th. So for Christmas and New Year's, we meet my kids and my husband and my mom. We'll be spending the holidays in Louisiana getting prepared for my surgery. So I'm kind of excited about that. I moved it up for about 2 weeks. I moved it up 2 weeks earlier. I contacted Miss Margie. She's such a wonderful lady, so sweet, like so helpful, like, you know, so she gives out so much knowledge and information. She makes this journey a lot easier and more soothing to my nerves. So I contacted her and I said, hey Miss Margie, is there anything, supplements, vitamins, anything I should take to get prepared for the surgery? And she did instruct me that it wouldn't hurt to start taking prenatal vitamins. I did go out and buy me some prenatal vitamins, and I bought me some iron pills to boost up my iron levels before the surgery. But like I said, told you guys before, I work for the post office, and a lot of times I'm not scheduled to work, but then they'll call me into work, so I kind of forget to take my prenatal vitamins before heading to work. So shame on me. I gotta remember to take those more. Before, when I first started my tubal reversal journey, my mom didn't know about it, and I really didn't want to tell her because I thought it was going to more or less upset her, because basically she felt like, hey, we already have 4, there's no more that's needed, you're fine with it, what you got. But you know, my mom is like my best friend. That's my ride or die. Thelma and Louise, Bonnie and Clyde, my ace. She's everything. Like, she's everything. If I was a bank robber, she would be like the getaway driver. That's like how me and my mom is. And it killed me keeping it from her. This is not something I would want to keep from her. So I did talk to my mom. You know, she lived in one state, I live in another, so it's not like I could just go over there and say, hey mom, let's go out to eat and have this conversation. I FaceTime with her. I'm sorry, it's like 90 degrees where I am, so it's like hot as hell. So I got the AC blasting. So I FaceTimed her and I kind of explained to her what was going on, and it wasn't how I thought she was going to react. She was like, okay, well, you know, if this is what y'all want to do, I'm fine with it. She do take my kids for the summertime, so this new addition will not be going to my mom for the summer. My mom is retired, you know, she's getting up there in age, and I would not put no more food on her plate than what she already takes on for me, so me and my husband are able to work while my kids are out of school. So I was telling my mom and my husband that being that the surgery is paid for, when we get our taxes, I think what I'm going to do is buy diapers, wipes. I think I said this to you guys in the last video, but I just want to be more prepared and less stressed for this pregnancy as opposed to my other ones. My last time I was pregnant, I want to say I had to be like 20, 21, and now I'm about to be 31. So I just want to be less stressed out. So what I'm gonna do is buy diapers, wipes, the crib, a unisex stroller, the white t-shirts, wash rags, you know, just unisex stuff. And then once we figure out what we're having, then we'll go along the lines of buying like outfits and socks and hats, and you know. But when it comes to the spectrum of underclothes and diapers and wipes and, you know, lotion and toys and bouncy chairs and strollers and cribs, I pretty feel like, you know, already being a mother of 4, this is something I can do without knowing the sex of the child, because I just don't want to be working stressed out and say, hey, I'm doing this because I have a baby on the way. I just want to be more financially prepared. I mean, yeah, pretty much. I did finally tell my kids that we were planning on having another one. So I do have a 14-year-old. She wasn't too enthused. She wasn't too happy. She was just like, we have enough people in the house. What was you thinking? It was more like she was giving me the mother, like she was my mom. We switched roles, and I was just like, well, face it, you know, this is something that we're gonna do. And you know, when I had my daughter, I was 16 years old, and I said, you know, not to be harsh, but I said, you know, when I was pregnant with you, there was a lot of people that said, hey, don't have it, get rid of it, this is not smart, you know, you're young. And guess what? I kept you because I felt like I had plenty of love to give, if not nothing else. My youngest daughter was basically like, yay, I'm happy, I'm gonna be a big somebody. That's what she said, she's gonna be a big somebody. I'm like, no, you're not gonna be a big somebody, you're gonna be a big sister. She's like, yeah, but I'm a big somebody because I don't know if it's a boy or girl. I'm like, no, you're a big sister whether it's a boy or a girl. So she's excited. So I asked her what she wanted, and she said she doesn't care as long as she's a big sister. That's all she cares. She wants to boss somebody around. My sons was just like, oh, okay, well, you know, I have twins. So one twin was like, well, I hope it's a girl because I don't want nothing else sleeping in my room. And my other son, the youngest one, was like, well, I don't care what it is as long as it's healthy. So, you know, everybody was pretty much supportive except Serenity. Serenity was like, nope, I'm not babysitting. I want to go out and have fun with my friends. And I'm like, yeah, if them grades is not up, you're not going anywhere. So just get ready to put your babysitting smock on and just sit down and be fucking happy. So, that's pretty much it, you guys. Like, you know, I just think about you guys, and, you know, when I record these videos, I'm like, well, you know what, let me just get the word out there and, you know, show my two reversal sisters that I didn't forget about them, and, you know, this is real life, this is not just a hoax, and, you know, something like that. And, you know, every time I record these videos, I just think about you guys, and stuff like that. I was talking to my doctor here about starting birth control to regulate my menstrual cycle because my menstrual cycle is currently not regulated. So I was talking to her about being on, she knows that my tubes is tied, but I was talking about getting on birth control pills here to regulate my period, and she was also instructing me, I'm sorry, I'm just, like I told y'all before, if I'm outside, I'm just aware of my surroundings, like, she was letting me know that if I take birth control pills and then stop, my chances of becoming pregnant is even higher because I'm on contraceptive and then I just stop. So I think I'm gonna do that. I think what I'm gonna end up doing is taking birth control up until I would say the end of December, like right after my surgery, and then when it comes closer to the 6 weeks where me and my husband can start conceiving, I'm just gonna cut it off and stop, and hopefully fingers tied, tubes untied, yeah, and hopefully we'll get pregnant relatively fast. I was acknowledging all my kids except my youngest was born in the summer. My daughter was born in December, and actually she was born in December, but she was really supposed to be born in February. She came like big time early. I've never went full term with any of my kids. My oldest daughter was supposed to be born in July. She was born in May, the end of May, and my twins were supposed to be born in September, and they was born in July. So I've never in my life went full term. I don't know how a full term pregnancy is. Hopefully with this baby I would like to go full term. You know, when you're a new mom or, you know, an anxious mom, you're like, hurry up, I want to hurry up and have this baby. But every time I had a baby early, they had to stay in the hospital longer than what I really wanted them to stay in the hospital. I'm sorry, let me just reposition this camera and get the sun out of your face. I was also looking up a VBAC. For those of you who don't know what a VBAC is, that's vaginal birth after C-section. So I would like to, I had 2 C-sections in the past. I would like to push this time around. I feel like my recovery will be a hell of a lot better if I push, considering that I do work for the post office and I need to recover a little bit faster than the norm. I just don't want to be out for too long because I do know that I have to take 2 weeks off when I have my tubes untied, and then maternity leave when I have the baby, but I feel like recovery will be a hell of a lot better if I wasn't hunched over with stitches or staples or whatever the situation may be. Also, so I am looking for a doctor who is willing to allow me to do a VBAC. Also, I wanted to do a midwife birth at home, like a water birth, but I don't think that would be ideal, being that I had difficult pregnancies in the past. I just don't think that would be quite ideal for me to do that. So I'm just gonna try to do the more or less safe route. Now, all my kids were born in New York. Me and my husband was having a discussion about whether I was going to have the baby where I live, and we both came to the conclusion that I do not want to have the baby where I live. So when I come closer towards, usually when I go into preterm labor, my face kind of swells, my feet kind of swells, I can't hold anything down, I'm getting Braxton Hicks. So when them symptoms start kicking in, I think I'm going to hightail it back to New York and have my baby up there. It's just, you know, I trust the hospitals up there a little bit better, and, you know, my kid's old pediatrician is up there, and, you know, the doctor, Dr. Trinacosta, rest in peace, who delivered my twins and my last child in Staten Island, New York, just draws a tears to my eyes. He passed away, so unfortunately I won't be able to deliver with him, but I am thinking about going back to his practice. I know he does have an office still with some of the same staff, so I'm thinking pretty much that's where I'm going to go. A friend of mine had a baby where we live, and I'm just not too fond of the treatment and the services that she had received. There's somebody walking behind my car. That's why I look. There's not many people who walk out here, but, you know, that's why I was kind of like looking. So I'm just, right now, I got this little thing. I downloaded this little app on my phone that tells me you have 5 months, 11 days, 32 hours and 17 seconds before your surgery. And I really try not to look at that app too tough because I feel like it drags my time out. But I'm kind of nervous. I'm really kind of nervous because it's right around Christmas, and then my daughter was born in December 8th, so it's like now I have to get prepared for her birthday, and then, you know, the kids are going back to school, and, you know, then it's Christmas, and then I'm going right to this surgery, and then it's New Year. So it's like, I'm not gonna say it's a financial crunch, but me and my husband are pretty much working our asses off. So, no, not really. We're not working our asses off, but, you know, we work in a regular schedule. But, you know, we're just cutting back on certain things and, you know, doing certain things. In one of my videos, I was going to cut back on getting my nails done. But one day my husband looked at my nails and he was like, yeah, that's not one thing we're going to cut back on. Like, you have to get your nails done. Like, I've been married for 11 years and I always kept my nails done. When me and my husband got married, we wore wedding rings, but then a couple of years ago, time got hard, and my husband had to get rid of his wedding ring to make ends meet, and behind his back I did the same thing. He didn't want me to do it, but I said, you know what, us having wedding rings doesn't determine whether we're married or not, you know, and stuff like that. So for this Christmas, he asked me, hey, would you like a new wedding ring? And I was like, no, just, you know, like with Dr. Maurice, they have certain hotels you could stay in that give you lower prices and fares. And I was just saying, well, before, you know, we were going to leave the kids at home, and my mom was going to fly down here to watch the kids while we have our surgery done. And I was like, no, instead of doing the wedding ring, I'd rather wait for the wedding ring, and I would like to go to Louisiana before Christmas, because with the surgery being the 29th, I would have to show up like the 27th or the 28th for pre-op testing and stuff like that. So instead of me getting a wedding ring, I decided that I wanted to take my kids to Louisiana, you know, maybe go on a little road trip, hit Disney, then head over to Louisiana for Christmas, and, you know, enjoy my time. My kids would still get Christmas gifts. I think we would do Christmas gifts a couple of days before Christmas and then head out and stuff like that. Like, it's not really a bit of a big deal. me putting a ring on my finger is not going to seal the bond any tighter than what me and my husband already are. Like, I love my husband to death. He's my king. I'm his queen. So, you know, that's pretty much it. We have decided to take our kids with us because my kids are on break. They're on winter recess. And see, that's another thing why I moved my surgery, because my surgery was January 5th and my kids go back to school January 3rd. And I was like, well, wait a minute. This ain't too smart. Like, let me rethink this. So I moved my surgery up about a week and a half, 2 weeks. That way my kids can, you know, be there with me, experience this whole step with me and stuff like that. And, you know, also my daughter, she's a teenager. She's starting to be into boys. And I just want her to see this shit you got to go through to have a kid, and this is not an easy route. You know, I had a kid at 16, so I want to kind of pretty much stop the cycle. So to stop the cycle is not to be overprotective of your kids. It's to show them, hey, this is the things that may happen if you're not careful, if you're not safe. And not saying that me and my husband is not careful or safe, but I just want her to see the exhausting experience and the route you have to take when it comes to having a child. So it's not easy. I don't want her to believe it's a game, like going to Toys R Us and buying a baby doll and bringing it home and throwing it in your closet when you're tired of it. No, this is hard work. You know, the last time I had a baby, my daughter was 6 years old. Now she's 14, about to be 15. So, you guys, you know, I was worried. I'm going to get out, but I want to show you guys something. I was worried that after this baby, my figure was going to be destroyed. I know, these are things that women think of. I'm going to set my phone here. And this is my figure. I don't have a bra on. Excuse me. I ran out to get my husband a pizza right before work. And the restaurant we went to has a drive-thru, so I didn't even have to get out. But that was one of my concerns. One of my concerns was that I'm not going to just bounce right back. But my husband was like, you always bounce back, so why are you worrying about it? A couple of years ago, my husband, because we didn't think we was going to have any more, and I was so huge up here, I had a breast lift and a reduction. So I've always breastfed, so now that's a worry for me too. Like, what if I can't breastfeed? Like, with my other kids, I was eligible for WIC and stuff like that. But then when I had my youngest child, me and my husband made too much to receive WIC, which is Women's Income something, or I don't know what it is. I don't know what the acronym stands for. I know it's women's something. And I'm with my youngest daughter, we really didn't worry about it because I pumped enough to like feed a fucking village. Like I pumped a whole lot, and it was enough to where, I mean, we only had to buy baby food. And even with the baby food, what I would do when I was pregnant with my daughter, I would buy like sweet potatoes and carrots for like $1, and I would come home and I would boil them and cook them and, you know, make her own baby food. So I really didn't have to go into the store and buy baby jars for like 60 cents or 50 cents. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would buy one sweet potato for like maybe 79 cents, and I would skin it and boil it and mush it up and, you know, parade it and stuff like that, and I would put it in separate jars, and that would last her for like maybe a week. So I just fed my baby for 7 days off of one sweet potato and 2 carrots, as opposed of going to the supermarket and buying like $5 worth of baby food to feed her with, you know what I mean? Or like I would buy bananas and, you know, stuff like that. I've always, you know, with my last child, was more acknowledgeable of what I wanted to put in her system, as opposed of Enfamil and Similac and, you know, all these other things where you could barely understand what's on the ingredients or what the ingredients is. My lighting is changing, so if you see me switch out over, it's because I'm trying to get. There you go. So yeah, so I just pretty much, you know, I'm kind of nervous that I won't be able to breastfeed this time around because of my breast augmentation. Hopefully, fingers tied, I will be able to. And I don't know where it is, but with my other kids, my mom is black and Puerto Rican. With my other kids, the moment I had them, I put on a faja or a corset. the moment I had them. Like, my mom would, you know, help me up out of the bed, and I would put, you know, the girdle on to help squeeze me in. And then with the girdle on top of the breastfeeding, you know, your uterus contracts immediately. So for people that say, oh, you have 4 kids, how the hell did you get that small, or how did you get your waist back like that? Yeah, it wasn't easy. It was painful having a C-section and then having your mom squeeze you in and push you into this thing, and then you're breastfeeding, and as you breastfeeding, you feel your uterus pulsate in it. It's like very painful, but these are the things that I had to do to make sure that, hey, even though I'm a mom, I still kept my how can I say it, my confidence level to where, hey, yeah, even though I had kids, I don't have to walk around looking like I had some. And I'm not trying to offend anybody, so please don't take it that type of way. But these are the things that I did after having my baby. I'm talking about with my daughter. She came out, she was born around, I want to say 3 o'clock. And I slept for until like 7, 8 o'clock, and by like 9, 10 o'clock, I was in a girdle. I was, you know, my mom was squeezing me into a girdle, and that's just how it was. Being that I, you know, after you have your baby, you're on your menstrual cycle. I would get the ones that, you know, snap this way, or the ones that you could pull up like underwear. Not underwear where it's underwear on. Jesus, what is going on with the lighting? Not ones like underwear, because you need to be able to change your sanitary napkin. But I would get the ones that will suck me in more firmly. I wouldn't get the ones that have wire. I would get the ones with more tight, firm. Like if my waist looked like a medium, I would get a small. If my waist was a large, I would get a medium. I would go down to extra size, and I would keep on going down until I was satisfied with the way my waist was. Because, you know, you lose the elasticity of your skin in the front when you have a baby. So you know, you need a little help with that. So I'm not gonna ramble on no more, you guys. I sat in the car because my Yorkie just had puppies, and the moment I walk in the house, it's like a free-for-all. They're yelping and crying and hooting and hollering, and I really can't record a video in peace. So I said, let me sit in my car and do it. And like I said, I just came back from buying my husband a pizza before work. So like I said, I'm not gonna ramble you guys head off. I've already been talking for like 22 minutes. But please, please subscribe, press that button. Like I said, y'all my strength, y'all my backbone. Basically, you know, we family, and I would like to keep it that way. Keep updated, stay updated. Peace, you guys.